Hi, host Eric here, and tonight I'd like to talk about reconciling the conflicting paradigms of FI and TI. And they definitely are conflicting paradigms, which is why they don't ever appear together in a person, right? You never have FI and TI in the same person, because TI is about making one's introverted evaluatory metric consistent, and consistent with specifically communicability more than anything else. It's consistent with communicability. So, what exactly does that mean? Well, it means that meanings of words have to stay static, more or less. And that precludes a lot of feeling talk. Feelings can be reduced to a certain kind of impact and then factored into equations. But beyond that, it seems to a TI person that not be used to justify uh, behaviors or actions or thoughts or words or anything like that. So, an FI person generally won't say casual cruelties to anybody and is appalled by the casual cruelties of others. FE people see expressions of feelings as the mechanisms that one uses to make one's way through the world effectively, and expresses annoyance to modify the behavior of the other. FI people express annoyance because they're annoyed. In this regard, having FI in the blind spot is kind of more like FI than having it someplace else, perhaps. Because a lot of times I'm expressing my moods not knowing it, or at least historically, although that may be changing, but not knowing the mood I'm expressing, not knowing the purpose of it, not knowing why I'm behaving the way I'm behaving. Because to know why you're behaving the way you're behaving means knowing what you want. Knowing what you want means knowing how you feel about things. Knowing that I'm upset right now or annoyed means I want something to be different than how it is, potentially, or I mean, that's the thing. I don't know what it means. I have a lot of trouble with that. I don't know. So, what happens then is a TI person, TIFE person, especially a TI heavy TIFE person, will tend to use the stick form of FE, which will be perceived as legitimate personal attack by an FI person. And therein lies the conflict, because we're using a mechanism that's designed to modify others' behaviors in ways that FI people find appalling. They find it appalling because you're messing with people's actual feelings to modify their behavior, and that's not okay. Well, this is a fundamental conflict of values between FITE and FITE and FETI. So, how do you reconcile that bridge? Well, I think the key is potentially lies in detachment. So, what is my most noble trait, perhaps, in my own opinion? It's the tendency to forgive. Like I say, infinite second chances is my rule. Now, the reason I have this kind of rule is because I myself need infinite second chances. I'm always fucking up. It's what I do. So, it makes sense for a TI heavy FETI person to want to prioritize forgive and forget, move on. One of my more noble traits is that I do not hold grudges. I forgive. I don't forget, but I move on. I don't care usually after a certain amount of time, unless it's a really bad betrayal. Obviously, I can't forgive and forget infidelity or something like that. But or my ex boss, who fucked me really bad, or tried to, did unsuccessfully fucked me really bad. Anyway, it's not an outcome based thing; it's a principle based thing, and that's the other thing with FETI, right? FETI cares about the why and the how and the words surrounding a given thing as much as they care about the thing itself. So if I'm being tasked with evaluating a situation as to whether I behaved appropriately or inappropriately, I'm going to use a TIFE metric, which is, did I manage perceptions well? In other words, did I do a poor job in perception management, in which case I've got nobody but myself to blame from an FE user's perspective. And that's the problem, right, is that I'm doing a bad job of managing perceptions. And sorry about that. The phone was making much noise, so I had to check it. Fucking Eric, god damn it. Okay, right. So this noble trait of basically being indulgent with others regarding their failures, not being fussy, quote unquote, is noble, and it also runs afoul of FI. So it's noble when it is applied to the indulgence of others. It's ignoble when it's applied as a condition others need to meet. Now, it's most noble when FI style I apply this rule only to myself and understand that other types are going to have their own way of bridging that divide. I would suggest that for xNTPs who wish to try to bridge the FI-TI divide, then, the solution lies in remaining detached from the displays of emotions of others. What that means is allowing your TI to recognize the displays of emotions of others who are displaying FI emotions and FI judgments about things, to be taken seriously as displays of FI judgments about things, and not held accountable to TI logics or FE logics. If you can do that, you successfully bridged the gap of FI-TI. The question is, how long can you sustain that? And that I do not know the answer to. Because, like anybody, we are all subject to our own emotions as well, even xNTPs who are less so than anybody else. Maybe ESTPs are the same. I don't know. But less so than anybody else, I mean, they're less sticky in time. So I will totally forget how bad you made me feel pretty quickly. Even if you made me feel really bad. Probably. unless it violates one of my little rules or something, in which case I might stay fussy about it for a while. I don't know. It depends. I don't know. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. I don't know if what I said is true or what. I just don't know. I don't know anything about my feelings. I genuinely don't know anything about them. How ridiculous is that? What the fuck are you supposed to do with that? Kitty, don't even think about it. You go outside. If you gotta go to the bathroom, you go outside. Come on. Outside, kitty. Outside. Yep. 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 Go out there. Go out there. Go. Yeah. Go. Okay. So, I think I successfully prevented the cat from going to the bathroom inside again. This cat has gotten some bad habits during the storm. She, why is my phone buzzing every 5 seconds? Anyway, that's the challenge for the xNTP. I think that's full on next level shit if you could pull it off. To just be able to recognize these things for what they are and not get dragged into it. To reserve one's emotional engagement for the good times, for the positive things. That is the challenge. And what prevents one from doing that all the time? Well, I think it might be boiled down to something like stress. How many additional pressures are you allowing yourself to put upon yourself? And that's what it really is. I'm putting additional pressures on myself. I have that big pile of mail I need to go through right there. It's a spiritual weight upon my soul to sit there with that burden. And it removes from me the amount of energy I can put towards noble manifestations of self. And so, understanding what situations are highly stress-inducing, figuring out how to either avoid those situations or deal with them in less stress-inducing ways or something like that, that may be a meaningful area to consider for myself. And I don't know, I guess that's about all I have to say about it right now. But those are my thoughts. I was thinking about it a lot. I think they're right. They're correct for the moment anyway. I hope they remain so. And, yeah, I think I buttoned this wrong, huh? Probably. Okay, well, thanks for watching Talking with Famous People. And I hope you remember to eat plenty of cheese.